Welcome to this month at AMG. This is a very special year for us. It's our 75th anniversary, and when we look back, it is incredible to see what the Lord has done over those 75 years. There has been so much fruit and so many blessings. God has indeed done exceedingly and abundantly more than we could think or imagine. Through this time, we have used many methods and many strategies to proclaim the good news, to show God's love around the world. But one of the most effective ones was and still is the use of media to proclaim the good news. By media, we are talking about gospel advertisements in newspapers and magazines. We are talking about using the internet, and we are also talking about using radio and radio broadcasts to let people know what God did through His Son for them. Our radio messages have been heard around the world for decades now, and we have seen many come to a saving knowledge of Christ as a result. One of the places where radio has been very effective is Cyprus. We have used media in Cyprus, both print advertisements and radio. And in this island of more than 1 million people, the gospel has entered homes where evangelical Christians would not be welcome. Less than 1% of the population represents evangelical Christians, and the gospel is greatly needed in the island of Cyprus, and we have been able to proclaim it through the media. Dr. Zodhiatis, who led AMG for more than 50 years, was a real believer in the power of media, because in places like Hindu countries and Muslim countries and Buddhist countries where there are very few Christians, or where no Christian would be welcome in a home, the gospel could enter through our gospel advertisements, through our radio broadcasts. Dr. Zodhiatis himself was on the radio for decades in hundreds of stations across the US and also in other countries around the world. His messages were heard. And today I'm standing in a studio where he recorded many of his messages. Today, as we celebrate our 75th anniversary year, let's hear some of the words that Dr. Zodhiatis shared in his messages on radio.
Lord, I was blind, I could not see in thy marred visage any grace. But now the beauty of thy face in radiant vision dawns on me. Lord, I was dead, I could not stir my lifeless soul to come to thee. But now, since thou hast quickened me, I rise from sin's dark sepulchre. Lord, thou hast made the blind to see, the deaf to hear, the dumb to speak, the dead to live, and lo, I break the chains of my captivity. You cannot understand God unless you have God within you. Understanding follows receiving Him into your heart and life. We must understand that God is the author of all knowledge, knowledge that enriches the natural man and also the spiritual man. What will you do with Jesus? Neutral you cannot be. Someday your heart will be asking, what will He do with me?
AMG's messages continue to be heard around the world, including Cyprus. The gospel is being proclaimed, and with your support and prayers, we will continue to make the good news known. Earlier this year, we had a very generous supporter offer $20,000 to sustain our ministry in Cyprus, and he asked us to use that gift as a challenge to others so that they would match the $20,000 gift to continue with our radio broadcasts. So my challenge to you today is this: will you pray for this ministry, and will you financially continue to support our efforts to reach people with the good news in Cyprus? We would like to match the $20,000 challenge gift that we have received. And with your help, we are going to do it, and the gospel will be heard, and many people will have the seed planted in their hearts, and many will respond. One day in heaven, we will all see the result. So please pray for this ministry and continue to support this ministry. It is very much needed today. Well, thank you, and hope to see you next month at this month at AMG.